Hey everyone, welcome back to the Insurance Lounge with me, Tanya.
And me, Kristy.
We are your local insurance agent here in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and we are on a mission to make insurance less boring, more useful, and really something that you can actually feel confident about. Our goal is to help you better protect your family, your home, your business, and your future, and without making things overly complicated, hopefully. So, with that said, Christy, what is our hot topic for the day?
We've all heard this one, right? Insurance is such a scam.
Oh, yeah,
Uh-huh. So let's bust the myths, the viral stories, and the internet myths.
absolutely. I have been seeing that floating around the internet a whole lot. And quite
hmm
honestly, Christy, right? We understand why and how people might feel that way.
Absolutely. I mean, I get it. I really
Yeah.
do. Premiums go up, you
You
know,
never
you,
had a claim.
you never had a claim. That's probably the one I hear the most often. I don't have any claims, I don't
Absolutely.
have any accidents. Why does my car insurance keep going up? Um,
Absolutely.
and we've talked a lot about, how that pricing actually works and why that is on previous episodes, but
Mhm.
we'll do it again, today in the context of this topic, of course.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. I think the other common pitfall that people have to deal with too, Christy, where, it makes you feel like insurance is a scam because number one, if claim is denied, right?
mhm,
Or that the claim
mhm.
process feels stressful. I mean,
Very,
we can
yes.
understand that.
Yep.
Yeah. Or how
I
about
get
this
it.
one? The policy is confusing.
Yes, it absolutely is. I mean, it's very confusing. It's a legal contract. So it's written by a lawyer, and sorry to all my lawyer friends out there, but that stuff's confusing. It's hard to read. But it's critical
Absolutely.
that you understand it, honestly, if you want to be
Absolutely.
able to feel comfortable with what you've got or don't have and make
Yeah.
an informed choice.
Absolutely. So today, guys, the episode is not about us defending any insurance company. Really
No,
not at all. Our goal really is to help you understand what insurance actually is, when does it apply, when does it not apply, when can you use it to your advantage, and helps you get a better understanding so that you don't feel like you're paying for a scam. Fair?
fair enough. Let's get
All
into it.
right. All right. So the first thing that usually follow insurance is a scam, Christy, is well, they're designed to just take your money, Christy.
I paid
We feel
all
that
this
way.
premium all these years. Yep. But what we have to realize is our insurance is not a savings account. We're not guaranteed to get that money back. What you're paying for is avoidance of risk. That's what you're paying for. You're not paying for a guarantee that you're going to get that money back, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. If we want to think of it this way, insurance fundamentally is a way for you to transfer the financial risk that you might
Exactly.
have by sharing one pool of money with everybody who chooses to participate in that program.
Right.
So, and oftentimes we want it to be there to protect you from a financial disaster, guys, right? Like a big one, a big oops, not a little ones.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like a seatbelt.
Right.
Nobody says my seatbelt's a scam because I didn't have an accident today. But, when it's protecting you against, like you say, that big financial disaster, and you didn't have a financial disaster today, but the insurance was there in case you did. And that's a good thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. How about the second one? We do hear this, and I can see why people, might feel this way. Insurance companies never want to pay claims.
Yeah. Yeah. You hear this a lot. And I mean, let's just, look look at the elephant right there in the room, right? Some claims do get denied.
Yeah.
Um, but that's why we say, when we're talking earlier about your policy, that's why it's critical to understand there are exclusions in a policy. There are
Mhm.
things that aren't going to be covered.
Hmm.
There are situations when you're at fault or or you haven't taken care of things, and insurance is not designed for that.
Hmm. Yeah, and in our case, a lot of time we do see that, not all the time, of course, but a lot of time claims are denied because one, we didn't purchase that coverage we want,
Right, right.
right? Or two, I think you and I talk a lot about this because we are big fans of policy reviews. So
Hmm.
sometimes when, if you took out a policy 20 years ago and you never did a policy review with your agent, like an honest review, and make sure you have enough coverage on your policy, that can
Yep,
create issues because there's not enough money, right? There's not enough
you
coverage
got
on the
it.
policy to
Yep,
pay
you got
out.
it. And I think one of the main culprits in this arena is you don't want to pay a premium for the coverage that you need. If you're only shopping based on premium, you're putting yourself way at risk.
Absolutely. Yeah, and we talk about this in some other episode, but for, one example, a lot of auto insurance policies, I think really all of them out there where, car rental assistant is not something that is built into the auto policy,
Right.
right? Isn't something that you're gonna have to pay extra to get, and it's optional. So it's really, unless you tell your agent, like, yes, I do want that coverage in case I get into an accident. I need to have a
Hmm.
way to get around. Then,
Hmm.
and unless your agent asks, but unless you give the A-OK, that coverage is not going to get added to your policy.
Right, right. And I mean, let's face it, you can always go rent a car on your own, if you don't have the coverage, but that can be quite expensive if your car has to be in the shop for up to 30 days, more than 30 days in the instance of the last time my car was in the shop due to an accident. It can be a pretty hefty price tag on that. So you have to really think about what do you really need, in the event that that bad thing happens. The days when it's good, well, that's all good. But it's that day that something bad happens when you need the policy. That's what you have to think about.
Absolutely. And speaking of policy, Christy, m- oftentimes when we see claims get denied too, is because we're submitting that claim where there's an exclusion,
Hmm.
right, of the cost of the loss that is really absolutely not covered on the policy at all, right?
Yeah.
Not covered on the policy at all.
Because it's due to wear and tear on your home and not, a sudden
Accident.
incident, an
Mhm.
accident that happened. Exactly.
Right. So what we see, guys, and this is not to defend the insurance company, oftentimes we have a problem with claims denial is about misunderstanding of why claim is being denied.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, I really do, I am an agent, but it's like we said, we're not here really to defend the insurance company today. But I really do feel like most insurance companies are not out there to cheat people, but they are, let's face it, they're out there to make money just like any other business, just like, you are in your business. So they are going to stick to the contract language that they've written and provided for you, and that's why it's so important to understand what that means.
absolutely. And speaking of making money, yes, insurance carrier gotta make money, but
They
we
do.
also hear this myth a lot online too, guys, is that insurance company will always win. Always
It's not the
win.
casino. It's not the casino. They're not always winning, but it is, like we've talked about, a shared pool of risk. And again, that's what you're paying for is, the transfer of that risk.
Yeah. So if you really think about it, right, you might pay into it for years and years and years, and you never had a claim, right? In the meanwhile, that money that you pay into that share pot of money, guys, is being used, really, is
Oh
being
yeah.
used to
Somebody's using
cover.
it. Yeah.
Yep, somebody else that will have that one accident or that one disaster where the entire home's burned down to the ground and it costs hundreds of thousands of dollars. And
Hmm.
even though it's not your claim, guys, but they are part of that. that pool, that community pool that we have. So the
That's
insurance
right.
money that you pay into it is being used to pay for that claim as well.
Yep.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Christy, but this is not just the way that insurance is designed this way. It is not unique to just auto or home insurance. It is also how health insurance is designed. Is that
Absolutely.
correct?
Yep. Exactly. That's exactly right.
Yeah. So if you really think about that, right? We pay premium to our health insurance every month. But Christy, you don't use it every month.
I sure don't try to. I'm sure trying
You
not
don't
to.
want to. Yeah. Yeah. But that money is still being used for somebody else, right? That might have a
hmm
health issues where they have to go see a specialist or a doctor every
And that
month.
can be catastrophic, right?
Oh,
They've got a
yeah.
chronic health issue or something really, really bad, a deadly type of disease.
Absolutely. So all that money we pay into that pot of premium for health insurance is helping those people. It
That's
might
right.
not help us particularly right now in this moment, but it's helping everybody else. It's paying out for everybody else too that's having that need within your pool of risk.
Yep. You got it.
Right.
So why does insurance feel so scammy to so many people though?
Mhm. And I totally get it, right, Christy? Like we are on your side because guess what, guys? We have to purchase insurance too.
We do. And I would 1,000 times rather spend some time explaining to you up front and in a policy review and, all along the way why it's going to cost this much or what you need to do as far as your coverage than to have to explain to you at the point that you have some kind of claim that's not going to be covered because you didn't want to pay
Mhm.
for the coverage. You
Yeah,
know, that's the real reason I think that we need to get down to is where agents fail is by not explaining to people what they're really buying and how it's going to work, what's going to be covered and what's not going to be covered.
absolutely. So the other thing also see is, you know, uh, oftentimes, especially when money is tight, people will make decision and will buy based on just price, right? You
Price.
might run into an agent that is rushing the sale, and so are you, and the
Mhm.
price looks great right now, right? So let's just make a decision. Let's move on with it because let's be real. Besides us, insurance agent, who wants to talk about insurance all the time, right?
Right? Yeah.
So really what I noticed, Christy, is where insurance feels more like a scam, where it feel very stressful, is where the communication between the buyer and the agent have failed,
That's right. Yep.
right?
Yep.
So really, really what we want to invite you to really think about how you should really think about insurance is more like a financial disaster absorber,
Right.
right?
Exactly. That's what I keep, I've said it over and over today and all my life. I say it all, every day, right? It's about
Hmm.
transferring that risk. It's about
Yep.
you paying a premium to avoid the what if of some type of financial disaster.
Yeah, so like let's walk through some of that, right? Is insurance there to protect your asset, your savings? You work really hard to save up a lot of cash in your account, right? And as
Right,
well as your
right.
future
Your
income.
home, yeah, absolutely. All of your assets. Think about what
Absolutely.
all of those things are. You want to be able to protect those things.
Yeah. So then how do we protect that using insurance, right? So let's talk about auto insurance really quick,
Sure.
right? If I rear-ended someone yesterday
hmm
and they
And
told
I
me
didn't mean
they're hurt.
to.
Yeah, I didn't
I
mean
didn't
to,
mean
right?
to.
It's
I'm a
an
nice
accident.
person.
Yeah, it's an accident,
Accidents
right?
happen. Yeah,
We don't
accidents
do it on
happen.
purpose. Yep, it happened. But it's either we pay a deductible to fix our car or pay
hmm
$8,000 out of pocket to fix our own car.
To fix our own
Or
car and the other person's car. Because when I rear-ended somebody, I'm at fault there, almost automatically, right? So I'm going to pay to fix
absolutely.
my car, their car, and any injury to them.
Absolutely. So if they feel that, you know what, Christy, you caused me this injury and now I feel ugly about myself,
hmm
you know what? Based on the laws, I could sue Christy for that.
That's
So
right.
I can pay my deductible and I will let the insurance company and my policy take care of the rest. That's
Right.
how you don't feel like it's a scam.
Or I can respond to a lawsuit, which is not going to be fun.
Absolutely not, right? Or let's say a tree fell onto your home and damaged your roof, your retaining walls, it got water in every room, is a
Mm-hmm.
$150,000 repair.
Right.
So do I want to pay a $3,000 deductible and then let my insurance take care of the rest? Or now I have to go out and manage to get a personal loan or
Mm-hmm.
drain my personal saving account if I have even that much cash in there.
Right. If you even have it. Yeah. Do you want it to be drained? Exactly. Because you're building that savings for a lot of other what ifs, not just
The fun what
that
if,
one
not,
incident.
yeah,
Absolutely,
not
right?
the
Yeah.
disaster what if, right?
Yeah.
So if we really think about it, our deductible is a small little setback that we have to pay out of pocket.
The
But
deductible and the premium.
yep, yep, yep.
Yeah.
But in return, if there is a huge disaster that hit me, I know I have coverage,
And no, I have
right?
coverage. Yeah. You got
So think
it.
about it, guys. Insurance is not about winning and gaining more, right? Insurance is there to make sure that you can survive financially because
In
we
that
know.
incident, yep,
Yeah,
in that incident of something catastrophic.
yeah.
Exactly.
So tell me, Christy, how can we help our audience avoid feeling like it's a scam? What can
Yeah,
they
so I think
do?
we've talked all around it, right? But there are a couple of just real simple rules. Stop shopping on price alone. I mean,
Yeah.
that we have to change our mindset about, how much we're going to pay for insurance. Not to say that you can't shop around and find the best deal for you, but the best deal that's cheap that comes from a company that doesn't have the financial strength to ever pay a claim for you is not really going to end up being the best deal, right? So stop
Mhm,
shopping on price alone.
mhm,
Always ask what's not covered. What are the pitfalls here? What are the exclusions that I might not be aware of?
mhm.
And review your policy and understand what's in it. And do that before you're in the stressful situation of an accident that has happened.
Absolutely. So, is insurance a scam, Christy?
It's really not.
It's not, right? But if you buy insurance and you don't understand what you're buying, it could really feel like a scam.
That's exactly right.
Yep. So, like we always say, we encourage you to call your insurance agent, do what we talk about today, make sure you know what's not covered, make sure you have what you need, understand your coverage. And if you don't have an insurance agent, you can always give me a call.
We know some people you can call.
Absolutely. So, guys, if you found the episode today helpful, please hit like and follow or share it with someone who you think might need it.
So until next time.
We'll see ya.